Howdy folks, welcome back to 15 Nautical Mile Arc, and we are cold and dark. It is 5:52 a.m. in Payson, Arizona, and this is our third leg of our Transcontinental series where we cross the continental United States from west coast to east coast. It's been a long time since we've done one of these legs. I hope that I remember what I'm doing. Now, this being a series, we're using the same aircraft with the same livery with real world weather. Those things stay the same every time, and we're just going from airport to airport across the United States. And this leg is from Payson, Arizona, which is KPAN, Kilo Papa Alpha November, to Window Rock, Arizona, Kilo Romeo Quebec Echo, also in Arizona. So basically one side of Arizona to the other. I try to keep my flight times less than 90 minutes for each leg, because in the real world I just don't have enough time to fly longer than that. So we've seen this before. We've seen this aircraft a bunch before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail since it's a series. The plan is just to hop right in and get going. I will say, though, since it has been good 8 months or so, 6 months, I guess, this is still the X-Plane 10 version of the Carenado B1900D, even though this is X-Plane 11. The X-Plane 11 version has been released at this time. However, it's $40 more, and this one works well enough that I'm not going to purchase the new version anytime soon. There are a few quirks. For example, it takes a lot of throttle to get going at first because of the friction, and whenever I use the mouse wheel, it resets my GPS view, and the reflective textures are not on this aircraft. But other than that, it operates just fine. I don't have a reason to spend $40 on the new one. So, longer introduction than normal for the series. I'm just kind of watching that sunrise at the same time, and I'm enjoying the scenery while I talk. But let's get in and get this going so we can get some passengers loaded up. So first thing we're going to do, actually, before we hop in, is we are going to open up some doors, like so that people can start boarding while we get everything turned on. So let's hop inside. I can't remember if this has GPU or not. I have to hide that yoke, it's in the way. External power. Yeah, we can simulate external power. Alrighty, cool. Let's head up here, I think, and get some lights turned on. There we go, including cabin full, reading light, fasten seatbelt, emergency on and arm. Man, I can't remember why I have that at an angle. I guess you just have it memorized. I didn't have to read it, but now I have to read it. Actually, let's keep that on for now. We'll bring that up to test for now. Everything else, let's see, that'll come on. Those are on ground already. That'll come on right now. I think that's all we need to do at the moment. Oh yeah, I forgot about all that stuff. Fun. Alright, yeah, and frame rates are a little lower too, because this is the X-Plane 10 version, not the X-Plane 11 version. But otherwise, let's see, I think if we head back, our lights should be on in the cabin, and they are. Oh, that's right, they're different colors now. The reading lights and cabin lights are different colors in X-Plane 11 in this aircraft, which is awesome. That wasn't actually the number I meant to push. Neither was that one. What is my... Maybe I don't have a, Oh, there it is. Alright, what's up? No, this is up. That's up. There we go. It's all coming back to me. It has been such a long time. Oh man, I wish the frame rates are better, but that's just the way it is. Let's hop outside and have a look at that. There we go. Now we're all ready to board and load passengers. I want to get in the air before the sun came up. So let's head to our checklist and get this thing started. Now, the thing I really have to be better about is getting my end of runway checklist looked at. Alright, I already did fuel. I set fuel for 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is hopefully like an hour more than we need. I just forgot the distance. I wrote out my first 10 legs like 8 months ago, and I can't remember the distances. I had it all memorized when I did it, but it's just been too long. So right now we have to hop inside and turn on our GPS, which is actually on the autopilot. Oh yeah, they fixed this too. Or this got fixed too. Come on, come down. There we go. Yeah, that got fixed too. Okay. If you turn that on, I thought that turned on our GPS in this one. Flight plan. let's get this going. So we're gonna go from KPAN. Gosh, it's not gonna work. Why does this work now? I didn't want that. I wanted to move down. Whoa. No, back up. There we go. I want to move down here. Oh no, that didn't do what I wanted to do. Okay, so now we want to go to, what is it? Kilo Romeo Quebec Echo. So Kilo. Yeah, see, it's not working. Okay, I do have to pop it out. Kilo. There we go. Do I know my alphabet? Kilo Romeo and Echo. Man, that's like delayed. All right. I think you hit enter, accept. So now I can program my approach, I believe. Do I go? No. Is it this one? It's been a long time. Okay. Procedure. Select approach. Okay, so I think there's just one, right? Yes, this is correct. There's only one published approach, and there's runway 2, which is also in here. And vectors, no, I want... Shoot, see, 4N isn't on the thing. I knew that was going to happen. We're going to have to go with it. Oh, is it going to do the weird... Oh, no, there you go. Habon is on there. Conpo. Nice. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted. So if I go back to here and I zoom out, is it going to do any weird stuff like landing at this airport, which I do remember happening. Actually, that is going to be exactly what I have on my little sketch pad here. Finally, we're going to have one that works. If you remember, leg 2 landing at this airport was all screwed up. Then I had to navigate the mountains VFR, and it was very scary, but it was very fun. It was also very dark. Good. Wow, only 118 to the first waypoint. Good. So that worked. So we're going to program VNav in the air. Remember, that's when I calculate when we're going to come down. We're going to do that in the air, though. So let's pop this back in. And we're just going to leave it, because that GPS in this aircraft is really messed up, because they don't have the updated aircraft. So that is ready to go already. Great. Where am I on my dealio? Oh, yeah. CDI, though, so that autopilot follows the GPS. That's very important. Always follows your radios. We need to remove our static elements and close our doors. That's over here on this. What's going on? How come nothing's clicking? Close that, close that. You know, I'm going to turn off mouse scroll, because that will probably solve a lot of my problems in the cockpit. So let's turn that off. Everything is good to go, and everything is clear. Let's hop inside, which is my control panel button thing. There we go. Reset all of the stuff on the yoke. Props to feather. Standby auto, yada, yada, yada. That does look at very much fuel, but we don't have that far to go. So now turn off external power and start our left engine. And have to go till it gets to, is it 25? 15. It's 12, 13, 14, 15. Introduce fuel, which is going to be both at once because I have one axis on my yoke. Now we can either watch our middle gauges for prop rotation, which is starting now, or we can just hop outside. And we have prop rotation as expected, and we have a sun already, so we're way behind schedule. Let's get that thing loaded up. Now what do we do? I can't remember. I used to have this memorized. Generator. Then we start the right engine. Hold it till it gets to 15. And fuel's already been introduced, so that's not a problem. Going to be a prop rotation, so we'll come down here. Other generator, close the safety cover. And AC bus, turn that on. Air bleed valves on the co-pilot side, which is this one. What? Air bleed valves are there. Open, we'll turn on the heat. We'll keep the, you hear the blowers turn on, that's so awesome. We'll turn that to auto. We won't, we'll turn it, yeah, we'll turn it to auto. Up, there we go. I don't have scroll wheel turned on, I'm used to doing scroll wheel. Let's do auto temp. or else our temperature will get to like 150 inside. Ooh, let's turn the blowers off though. That's really loud in my ears. Rudder boost. I don't know what the preset is for that. There we go. Rudder boost, climate we already did. Overspeed and stall warnings. That is on. Here we go, overspeed. And stall. We don't want to hear either of those, of course. Cabin pressure I haven't learned how to do yet, but that's straight down there. Auto feather to arm. There we go. Generator ties closed. There we go. And then we do stall warning, pitot heat, and anti-ice. Alright, that takes care of that. Prop sync on. Autopilot set up. Alright, let's see here. Let me get back in my regular spot. Autopilot. We are going to cruise at 16,000 feet. I can't remember how to set that. Right here. 7, 8, 9. Let's go down here and do this. And close you. Well, 16,000. I'm used to the scroll wheel, so this is much harder without the scroll wheel. However, now I don't have my GPS problem. 16,000 feet. And we are going to follow GPS, and we're going to climb at 2,200 feet per minute. So we've got vertical speed 2,200, alt select, which is 16,000, and nav, which will be our GPS. That's all. So all we do is we head out the end of the runway, engage autopilot, and just sit for like 2 hours or something. That's all you got to do in this thing. Alright, so here we go. Taxi lights. Where are they now? On. Props to taxi, yada, 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 yada. We'll switch those to flight. Everything else should be good to go. We'll turn the cabin lights off and everything at the end of the runway. So we're going to take off on runway 24 so that we have a headwind of 10 knots. Now this published approach, the only published instrument approach, is runway 2, and we're going to have a tailwind of 15 knots. And a little bit from the south-southwest, so a little bit crosswind. But otherwise, that should take care of that. Let's hop outside so we can taxi this thing. And we're going to go that away, because runway 6 is over there, I believe. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. Props to taxi. Where's my cheat sheet? Because I can't remember the controls on my yoke. It's been way too long. Parking brake is that guy. And let's see if it actually moves. Oh, this parking brake problem going to happen again. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Good. Because in those other 2 aircraft, I have parking brake problems. And boy, do those props look really funny in this texture. Oh well, how are we going to make this corner here? Come on, you can do it. See, that's that friction thing I was talking about. See, now we're stuck. That's fixed in the next version of the aircraft, but we're just going to have to deal with it. There we go. Heading into the sunrise eventually, so we're going to turn around to take off our runway 24 or whatever I said it was. And then we're going to make a U-turn so we can clear those mountains. Those are the scary mountains we had to land in, by the way. And then we're going to make a U-turn, and then we're just going to follow GPS. So what do I need to know? Flaps down, a couple. We'll get those down now. What's my autopilot? That button right there, but you can't see, is my autopilot. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it engages. And then reversers. That's all I really need to know. Oh, gear. I have to do gear in this aircraft. Oh man, I haven't flown with retractable gear in a long time. Alright, we're just going to head down to the end of this runway, and we'll take off. Alright, we're not quite at the end of the runway yet, but I just wanted to show some taxi this time because I usually don't show the taxi. I usually cut that out of the video, so I just wanted to show you this time because the aircraft is going straight and I can taxi looking the opposite way, which is very unusual. Normally trying to taxi backwards is extremely difficult, but this is some pretty scenery, pretty aircraft. There's some reflection on there, you know, it's not the X-Plane 11 version. And a nice sunrise. Oh, and I have updated to X-Plane 11.05, by the way, finally. This is my first flight. I didn't test it first, so I don't know if there's any other bugs or anything, but anyway. Wow, I really like those power lines. I don't think I've really noticed power lines before in the flight sim. There they are. That's really nice. Let's take a screenshot of that, in case I forget later to take a screenshot. Alrighty. Gotta slow down a little bit here. If we can, the hard braking system, yep. I do have my brakes mapped as normal, but they still seem to slam down pretty hard. Wow, just look at that scenery. Just take in that scenery while I try to turn this corner. Let's just turn like that, alright. So we'll stop here a second. And we'll set the parking brake. We'll hop up here, turn on our landing lights. And we'll turn off the cabin lights, leave the reading lights on. Fasten seatbelt stays on. Emergency goes to normal and test. So if we hop back here, actually I mean here, all the lights are off now. Oh, wait, we have too many lights on. Wait a second. Wait, let's figure that out again. Why do we have so many? Oh yeah, these cabin flood. Oh, that's right. I turned my scroll wheel support off. There we go. Cabin lights go off, overhead flood go off, reading stays on. There we go. Now we're set for takeoff. Let's hop up here quick so we can have a look. There we go. Just the details. It's all in the details. There we go. That's what we're going to look like during flight. Everything else is on and ready to go. So we're going to pull out onto the runway, turn the parking brake off. In this case, though, I don't think I'm going to engage autopilot until we've lined up with our GPS, because it could do some pretty funky things. That caution light, by the way, is just because of our auto prop sync. Man, I do miss that scroll wheel support, but it sure helps my GPS problem. Let's stop here until we get clearance. The reason why I'm stopping here is because I want to do autopilot and I want to push our heading bug. So it lines it up, so if I accidentally screw up my autopilot, we'll go straight runway heading. Wow, we're already at 5,100 feet. Alright, so here we go. We're going to disengage autopilot, spool them up, STOL, so I don't have to worry about running out of runway. Props are already forward. Not going to make that mistake again. And we're kind of drifting to the left. I'm not sure if that's an aircraft incompatibility thing or my yoke is messed up or whatever. Here we go. I forgot what my landing gear button is. What is it? There, okay. So we're going to lift off. Oh boy. Oh, why do I have to pull back all the way? Why aren't you lifting off? Wow. Alright. Gear up, first set of flaps up. There we go. That's messed up. Anyway. Very nice. Next set of flaps in. We're floating like we should. And my yoke is like really auto whack here. Wow. I'm like turned way to the side to go straight. Don't have much of a wind, so it's not a wind problem. Just check out that scenery. Oh, isn't that pretty? We'll climb a little bit before we make a U-turn. Oh yes, we do have engine management in this aircraft. I cannot forget that. I'm so used to flying the Otter, which engine management doesn't matter. I am often worried about forgetting that. So let's make our U-turn now. Because we need to. We'll keep our flight, or our climbing, which trim, by the way, was already set because we're exactly how I want to climb, 2,200 feet per minute. We'll make our U-turn here, and then we'll slowly bring in engines. We have 5 minutes before the engines start on fire. Just have a look around here quickly while we can. There's our airport already. Nice sunrise. We'll be flying into the sun. And it's very difficult to do this when you're not looking. I'm going to draw back engines a little bit now. Alright, turbine, bring the props back a little bit. Wow, our altitude is so high, we're not even redlining. Nice, not much to worry about. I'll fine tune those engines in a moment. Very nice. I'm trying to, there we go. I'm trying to remember my controls. It's been so long. It's almost like riding a bike. Almost. Oh, look at that plateau up there. Like I said, real world weather. All of these are flown with real world weather. I'm going to straighten out, hit autopilot in a second. What's my autopilot button? That one. There we go. Autopilot engaged. Just going to bring us to a standard turn. My banking was much shallower than it should have been, but I was sightseeing. So you all know that's my biggest problem. All right, here we go. Bring those props a little bit. Let's see. Turbine can go up though, because we're so high. Let me move up. There we go. So we are in the green, well into the green, and blah blah blah. All lights are out. Autopilot's engaged. So now we just sit here and sightsee. I don't know why that Avidyne keeps turning off on me. Y'all saw it turn on. Anyway, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let me go over my checklist. Flaps are up, gears up, obviously. Trim was fine. I mean, we're already taken off, so yeah, that's it. Nothing down until we land in taxi. So, oh wait, I do remember what I forgot. We have to do our vertical descent. So at Habone, so if I go to pop that out. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's look up here. We pop out VNav. We want to be. Oh gosh, how do I do this? No. There. How do I select? No. Alright. Target altitude is 8,000. No. 8,900 feet. So 8,900 feet mean sea level at Habone. And we want to descend. What do I like to do? 1,500 feet per minute, I think I normally do. Or is it 1,000? Let's do 1,000, I can't remember. So, 8,900 feet means sea level. 0 before is at Habone. 1,000 feet per minute means we descend in 29 minutes and 40 seconds, which will speed up once we level off at 16,000 feet, which is about now, I see. We are actually going to see that time decrease very rapidly. So there we go. Do I go that? There we go. Let me zoom out. Like so. So all I need to do then is come over here, actually pop that out, and just watch that clock. As soon as it gets down, I start descending with autopilot. That's all there is to it. That is it. We are done. We are ready to go. We are just going to hang out and fly the friendly skies. But I'm going to do some sightseeing with you so that, or on camera, so that you get to see some cool stuff like that. And cool stuff like that. And with that being said, I'll catch you at top of descent. about to reach top of descent, so we have to come down in a couple of minutes and I have to get my autopilot set up. But we kind of have a bit of a technical difficulty because I bumped some keys on my keyboard and I don't know what I did. And this airplane has been hunting between like 15.5 and 16.2 for altitude. See how it's going down now? It's been going up and down for the past couple minutes. I don't know what I bumped. I do know that I bumped my flaps though. That was one of the things I bumped because I heard the flaps come out, but I have no idea what I bumped. Gear is still up and everything, so I don't know what I did. But oh, my fuel is, wait a second. My fuel went down quite a bit. That's strange. We didn't fly that far. Anyway, and I also got my GPS to display the time again. I'm not sure what had happened, but it went to that other mode where it was like the actual true north mode or what, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, so we got 2 minutes. So we need to get autopilot set up. Let's come down here since I don't have scroll wheel turned on anymore. Unless we want to go down to what? 7,740. So 7.7 let's do. Man, this is hard without that scroll wheel. Gosh, fine. 7.7. There we go. And all we need to do then is in 1 minute 54 seconds is engage descent and then bring back the throttles a little bit, or alt select and then descent. And that's all we should need to do. We do have to turn down our cabin temperature because if you notice, it is 120 degrees. I can't remember the trick to get it to stay at a comfortable 70. It's not what you would think. Ooh, do you hear the blowers turn on? Do they go down to auto? No, it's just on or off. High or off. Manual temp auto. Now we're coming down. It's only 110. That's good. Alright, is it time yet to descend? Descend to target. So let's come up here. Autopilot. Alt select. Descend at 1,000 feet per minute. So now all we need to do is just manage our throttle so that we don't overspeed. And we're just going to come down now. So ground altitude is pretty high. It's about almost 7,000 feet. So we're only 8,000 feet above ground level. So I'm actually going to come over here and turn our landing lights back on already. I know we're above 10,000 feet sea level, but we're not that high above the ground. So to be ready for landing, nothing really, just gear down, flaps down, landing lights and everything are already on. The seatbelt lights is already on, it's always been on. So that's it. So now we just have to wait to land. We need to be at 7,700 at Palm Beach. So we've got 5 minutes to foreman, and then Habone, and then Conpo, and then Palm Beach. So we've got plenty of time to descend. And our autopilot's going to do it for us. Autopilot did the calculation. And if we get ahead of schedule, by the way, see that status, descend to target? If we get ahead of schedule, it'll put a new time in there. It'll start saying in 2 minutes or 1 minute that we know we're ahead of schedule. That being said, I actually am thinking because we were behind, let's make this 1,100, 1,200, I guess, have to go even. And then eventually, when we catch up, it'll say a time, then we can back off a little bit. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, and we're just going to look out the window a bit more. No sightseeing music this time because it's going to be so short, but let's just enjoy a few more views before we have to actually land this thing. an example now, our time is actually going up. Our descent time was at a minute. See, now it's a minute 2 because now we're descending too much. So let's descend a little less until we get that time to go down ever so slightly. Let's see, now it's still going up. So let's go back to 1,000, and that should take care of that. And now we'll be able to stay on the profile, on the descent profile. Simple as that. I can't believe it took me so long to learn how to do this, but that's one reason why I wanted to do a series like this Transcontinental series, so that I use the same aircraft over and over and over to get really good at it and really used to how it operates, and then keep adding more and more to what I do in the sim each time. Although with this aircraft, I think I do everything there's to do except the cabin pressure. So I have that left to figure out, but this GPS I got figured out and everything, and that's just the point of doing this. The real world weather is nice. It's not real time, because it would be pitch black right now if it were real time. But everything else, consistent. That's the point of the series, is consistency. And we're just going to keep coming down. Keep checking things over and over, and everything is already good to go. I found more controls, by the way, and how to move around my cabin. Please ignore the crappy frame rates. Let's turn those lights off. We don't need those. Anyway, all the lights are on. Let's see. Yeah. Nothing else is up there. Nope. Alrighty. Wow, that's hard to look at. But anyway, where are we at? 11.5. We got to get down to 7.7 by Palmby, as I've said a bunch of times. Now we're about to start our turn towards Habon, or Haben. There's another little airport right there, just below us, just below the nose. Here we're starting our turn. Not much of a turn, though. So we should be able to see the airport very soon. After we make this next turn, it should be straight in, and I will take over manually. And why is our time going up? Probably because the approach plate is screwed up, and we're no longer on our path. See that? So something got messed up. Of course it did. So now we have to fly manually because GPS is all screwed up, just like the last leg we did. Let's pop back in. Let's kill autopilot, which is that one. And we're going to start descending. And we need to look for an airport. I see the airport right there in front of us, I think. Is that it? Get our binoculars out. I'm pretty sure that's it. I see Pappy anyway. It says we're too low. So let's props forward. Check our GPS. Yeah, see, it had us going like around. I don't even know where it had us going. Where is it sending us? Look at that. It's sending us off the map. Whatever. We'll just use our GPS like this. I should be able to see it. Yeah, here we go. We'll line up like this. All right. It says we're too low. Way too fast for flaps and gears, so let's slow down. Landing lights were on. Let's get our taxi lights on too while we're at it. Everybody should be buckled in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Oh my, look what happens when you take your eyes off the screen for a minute. So I guess technically we're VFR, however, I can pull up this GPS and line up with our waypoints. So if I line up with Habon and Kanpo, we will be straight in. So right now I'm looking at my GPS. I'm lining up with the GPS. And then when I look back out the window, we should be exactly lined up with the runway, and we are. So there we go. It says we're a little low. I guess I can trim back a little bit so that we level off a little while we're losing speed. Because I want to get gears and flaps out soon, but not too soon, because we don't need to go that slowly. Take us forever to go this little bit. It's difficult to talk and fly at the same time when you're landing. It's also difficult to land because I want to sightsee like we talk about every video. I really would rather just sightsee. Well, not rather sightsee. I just wish I could sightsee. But we all know what happens if you take your eyes off your concentration for 2 or 3 seconds. It can really screw you up. See, we're already drifted way to the right, see? Just from that little bit. But let's look outside anyway. I should get gear down and flaps down, but we're going way too fast. It's hard to fly backwards. Alright, we gotta concentrate or we're just gonna make a fool of ourselves. Alright, I think we can put gear down now though. I believe we can do gear at like 220. But too fast for flaps. So gear will cause some drag, cause us to slow down. Pappy says we're too low. Oh, we're way off that runway. Look at that. Oh dear. Just because I looked out the window for 3 seconds. First set of flaps, give it a little bit more throttle because I don't want to lose too much speed or else it'll be the longest, slowest approach ever. There we go, we're lined back up again. Let's get that throttle under control and do one more outside view. Just one more. Oh my gosh, look at that crosswind. Remember I said there's going to be a crosswind? That is way more crosswind than I thought. So we not only have a tailwind, but we have a crosswind as well. The tailwind I expected because the wind is coming from behind us, and this is the only published instrument approach, so we had no choice. Plus, if you look at the mountains, I see why. The crosswind, I knew there'd be one, but I didn't think it'd be this much, and it is really blowing us to the right of this runway. Let's look at that again. Look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Should we do a quick spin around here? Quickly. Ooh, look at that. We're below the train. I love it. I love when that happens. When you're doing a published approach, you're on the correct glide slope, and you look behind you, and you're below the train you just crossed over. I love that. In this area of the country, all of these flights have been like this. We gotta get left if we're gonna line up with this runway. So we approach at 110 knots. Cross the threshold just under 100. Land about 86 to 90. Our fuel is pretty good. I calculated that pretty well, so we're not too heavy or anything. We do have to level off though. We're going to crash into the ground short of the runway. As I say in every video, I have not adjusted the sensitivity on my yoke, so we'll see how well landing goes. It is at STOL and we have reversers, so if I overshoot the runway by quite a bit we can still land without a go around. However, I want to be as accurate as possible, and we're way too low, so we'll just nose up a little bit. That'll also help bleed off some speed so we can approach at 110 knots like we're supposed to, because our approach right now is a little fast. Although when they land this aircraft in Minneapolis International, they come in at full speed because they're sandwiched between jets, but we're not in that situation. Oh man, how do I want to sightsee right now? But if I take my eyes off for 1 second, we're going to have problems. So I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, I love how we're below that train. I just love it. Oh, see, we're too low. Told you what happens when you take your eyes off. Alright. Let's see here. Man, this is so sensitive. Do you still have that crosswind? Not much. But we are too low. But we got a good approach speed though, so let me just pull back. Now we're a little fast on the approach speed. We're going to bring back the throttle. Bring back the throttle. Bring back the throttle. Oh, that's right, I forgot about this. We stall early in this version, which isn't, it's a problem of the sim. Shoot, I hope we don't stall. I forgot about that. Alright. Yeah, just gonna stall early. Yep, we're gonna stall early. Shoot. Yep, told ya. Told ya. Oh well. Reverser's back. I totally forgot about that. Shoot. That totally screwed me up. Oh well. Oh well. I totally forgot about the stall problem in this aircraft. Let's get back on the runway. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about in a second here as soon as I get under control. And I apologize that this isn't a modeled airport, but that's just the way it is. Let's just flaps in. Let's just keep going. Still the stalling thing. So that's the other issue of this aircraft by not updating it, is the stall speed isn't correct. It shouldn't, this light of an aircraft, I should be able to stay within the white band, full flaps, and not stall, but it always stalls at like 100 knots in this thing. ever since I moved to X-Plane 11. It never happened in X-Plane 10, and you can look back at my other videos. Oh, this is model report. We'll just go to that hangar. You can look back at my other videos, and you can see that I land just fine at the appropriate speed, at the published speed for this aircraft in real life. But ever since update X-Plane 11, this thing stalls way faster than it should. The speed is faster when it stalls, so I can't get down to the correct landing speed. I totally forgot about that, but I didn't crash too hard. A couple people may have thrown up. Some luggage might have been tossed around, but I'm going to have to remember that for the next landing, that I have to keep it above 100. We're going to clear this area here, and we'll take care of a few things before we pull in. Since I don't have a co-pilot to help me, I need to do all this myself, which means lights, and these lights can come on now, and that can come on now. Come on, and that can come on now. That all stays the same. Oh, we're rolling. What? My parking brake didn't work. What happened? Oh my gosh. I tell you, a lot of weird things going on here. Alright, we have the props back to taxi. You can hear the difference in the props. Let's just go over here. The reason why you have trees on the apron is because whoever modeled this airport either did it before exclusion zones were available, or they just didn't put in exclusion zones. Exclusion meaning excluding autogen, and they just didn't do that apparently. And let's just go in this hangar just because we can, unless collisions are turned on. If they are, then we're gonna have a serious problem. Of course you wouldn't taxi into a hangar like this. They would dolly it. But we're gonna taxi in just because we can. It's kind of funny, to be honest. Come on. See, there's that friction thing. Man, I might have to get the new version of this aircraft. I don't really want to spend the $40, but I enjoy this aircraft so much that if I got those things fixed, those things meaning the flight dynamics so it doesn't stall early, the scroll wheel support, the frame rates, and this friction thing, it might be worth it. I don't know. I'm gonna stop. Stop. Now is my parking brake gonna work? There we go. Alright, let's kill everything. Get our external power turned on. Turn off our avionics. We can open up this door like that. Then we can open up all this other stuff, except people should probably sit still until the prop stops spinning. Why won't we static elements turn on? Because my props are moving, probably. Don't my lights turn on like they're supposed to? Yes. Awesome. Good. What does it look like? Nice. Alright, like I said, you wouldn't have taxied into the hangar. Ooh, right by trailer park. And there's a big old tree in the way. That's really funny. Now, will it let me put static elements out? There we go. Alright, well, let's turn off some of these extra lights too before we drive everybody crazy. You actually don't need any of these on because we are inside the hangar. And we'll leave those lights on so people can leave. Everything else turned off, good to go. Let's hop outside for our farewell. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed the flight. It was a great flight. No replay. I haven't been doing replays of the landings in the videos because X-Plane crashes sometimes, which crashes my recording, and it's a big nuisance, so I haven't been doing landing replays lately. However, I don't think that matters anyway. Our landing was pretty rough. We stalled about 80 feet in the air. Of course, that's not my fault. That's the sim flight dynamics with this version is incorrect. What is my fault is I have to remember that and compensate for it. With that being said, I feel like I'm often compensating for idiosyncrasies more than I am flying between my sensitivity and these incompatibilities of the aircraft, I almost want to say it's probably easier to fly a plane in real life than it is in the sim right now. And I've been told by real pilots that yes, sometimes it is easier to fly a plane in real life than in a sim, but I'll never know because I'm never going to get to fly a plane probably. So this is the best I've got. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share with all your friends. GA flights, A to B, every week and a half I do an upload. And with that being said, catch you on the next one.